Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion, located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. It's everything you never needed to know. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What is the crazy thing about the Coinage Act of 1972?
What is old, wrinkly, and most annoying?
Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick.
See, that was perfect. Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Roy. And this week, we scoured the internet to find out these useless tidbits just for you.
Plus, we'll answer your questions in the mailbag segment. A listener wants to know if the Are You a Human challenge tool, CAPTCHA, has an acronym. Got that? And in the news, he was on the run until he got caught on TV.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Quick, get in.
This is Totally Useless Vehicle Information with Nick, Meet, and Roy. Vroom, vroom.
You know who's hitched a ride with us? 90 countries around the world. See what I did there? 90 countries around the world, and on the iHeartRadio app, coast to coast to coast, in Canada and United States. No matter where you go, you'll find us there.
Yeah, and that's why they call him Marble Mouth Nick.
Right. Exactly.
Folks, if you only knew what was actually going on.
Oh, you have no idea. But thank you. Really appreciate you joining us.
You really want to send Nick to one of those meetings.
Not meetings. I'm not only did I join the club, I am the president. Okay, so Oldsmobile 442. Now, you know a lot about cars. You worked in the car industry.
The 442, Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, the 442.
442. Now, the 442 is not what time your next train is coming in, but the Oldsmobile 442 was a popular American muscle car, which means I didn't have one. It was produced from 1964 to 1980, and later in the 80s and 90s even, right? So they kept going. They were originally offered as a performance option for the F85 and Cutlass models.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Cutlass.
The 442 name comes from the original configuration: a 4-barrel carburetor, a 4-speed manual transmission, and dual exhaust. 442.
See, that I didn't know. I wasn't sure whether it was the cubic inches of the engine, but I believe it was the Fireball, the original Fireball engine that was just enhanced. It was a great engine. Toyota churned out 13,000 cars a day in 2014. In 2021, Toyota will produce over 10 million cars.
Wow.
That is insane. When you think about the fact that Ferrari produces, how many cars do you think Ferrari produces a day?
100.
14.
Oh. Well, they need time to take a break.
14
have a
cars
sandwich,
come off their line.
Wow. That's a lot.
That doesn't count though, because the engine production is different because they sell their engines to Maserati.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, more or less. All right. This one I call Hands Where I Can See Them. And this, I mean, that means you, Roy. The initial windshield wipers were invented by Mary Anderson in 1903.
Yeah, that's.
Okay. Now, we learned that on the show in one of our previous episodes. We have 300 episodes now, so you can go through them. Mary Anderson, 1903, she invented the windshield wiper, but they were hand-operated, requiring drivers to move a lever to control a rubber blade across the windshield to maintain a clear line of sight. Drivers had to manually manipulate this lever, actually, from inside the vehicle to clear rain, snow, or other debris from the windshield. It was hand-operated.
The Toyota Corolla is the best-selling car in the world.
It is.
In the world.
Right.
One is sold every 15 seconds.
Oh.
it's in an, and also it's in 150 countries. We're catching up to them.
Yeah.
We're in 90 countries,
Right.
folks, but they're in 150 countries.
Now, a lot of people are into electric cars. Some are not. Tesla is probably one of the more recognized names, right? This one I call stinky car. And the reason why I call is that because the Tesla vehicles have a feature called a fart mode. So fart mode. Now, of course, it's called an emissions testing mode, but I figured I opted for the fart mode. Now, this is what happens. The emissions testing mode can produce fart sounds through either the internal speakers or external pedestrian warning systems. So it's not, because you're thinking, wait a minute, electric cars don't have emissions, so what would they be testing? But basically, it's just this mode, this fart mode, where you can play fart sounds out of these speakers, allowing drivers also to play a variety of fart noises on command via the turn signal or through the mobile app. Now, I'm thinking this is a safety feature, right? Because really, you can't hear electric cars coming down the road, so you need to hear them all the way. So this toy box feature was introduced as an Easter egg and serves as an entertainment function. But like I said, I think it could be a safety thing.
You know, I got a message for Elon Musk. Yes, I do understand it's a safety thing, but Elon, I've been doing it for years. I've been doing it myself on command.
Yes.
And I do it as a safety feature so that I don't explode. I get to the corner and I see some pedestrian and it's like,
you're rude. No,
I'm
safety.
like, look out, windows are opening.
It's the RPS, the Roy Propulsion System.
Und Switzerland,
Yeah.
und Switzerland. It is illegal to slam a car door. Get ready. You cannot have a fight with your wife or girlfriend, because after 10 p.m., if they slam the car door, they will be cited and or arrested. It's a noise ordinance.
Okay, so imagine you had a Tesla, and I don't know if the door is slamming a Tesla, but man, if you hit one of those fart on command method things, like, wow. So I'm going to go the opposite.
Yeah, you get
here.
cited. Yeah, you get a ticket.
Yeah, you do. Okay. The stinky ticket. So I went from one extreme, I'll go to the other. Smells like a rose. Mercedes-Benz offers a perfume dispenser system known as the Air Balance package on many of its luxury vehicles. Now,
let me tell you, can I tell you something, Nick?
Yes.
Mercedes-Benz should, because I'm going to tell you, I've had two.
Yeah.
And my wife has one right now.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie to you. You turn that car on and it stinks for the first, it's like this musty smell that comes out of the air things, because for some reason there must have like sitting water in where the windshield wipers go. There's that plastic underneath it and the water drains off there.
Yeah.
Every Mercedes, including ones that I've sold and things like that, they all smell the same. And it's horrendous. So I guess that's why they put it in.
Maybe it's a feature, yeah. So you need perfume. So if you drove a Tesla and you started farting and it doesn't smell good, then you go into a Mercedes and you smell wonderful because
it smells great. Yeah, you go from one to the other. That's why you need two. You need two cars, Nick. You cannot have just one.
That's right.
I love this next one.
Yeah.
Folks, get ready. Listen up good. The original time machine in the movie Back to the Future, the director Robert Zemeckis, I don't know, but it's Robert something.
Right.
Bob,
we'll call him Bob.
In the script, the time machine is, and the kid gets into a refrigerator.
No.
Yes. And the refrigerator goes into time or whatever. And the director said, ooh, this is not a good idea because kids may try to mimic it and get in the refrigerator and get locked in and die.
Right.
So he said, we have to do something. We have to change this whole script around. And they did. They placed the 1981 DeLorean DMC-12 and put the flux capacitor into it.
Yes, you need one of those.
Speaking of fart machines, the
Yes.
flux capacitor.
Yes. I think it's Robert Zemeckis, I think is how it's
Zemeckis, that's it.
That's right. Here's how this is
Zemeckis.
pronounced. nickandroy.com. That's easy to pronounce and easy to go to and easy to remember. nickandroy.com. I'm Nick. He's Roy. See what we did there? nickandroy.com.
What is it, Nick? What is it?
Hold on, let me look it up. There it is. nickandroy.com. And then you click on the Nick. Then you click on the Nick and Roy store. And what will Roy tell them what they'll find when they open up the Nick and Roy store?
When you open up the Nick and Roy store, which is at the top of the page, you are going to find the birthday message, anniversary message, and now the Christmas messages. Get them in now, folks.
Yep.
We're only a few months away, and we are getting swamped, and we're going to have to cut it off at some point.
Yeah.
So go to nickandroy.com, type on the Nick and Roy store.
Mm-hmm.
You will see that message, the birthday message, Christmas message, anniversary message. There's samples. So click on the sample for the birthday message. It's a mini show that we do for that special person. And let me tell you this, it will be one of the best gifts they've ever received, especially if you say they've got everything. Well, they don't. And this will be amazing. They're going to send it to their friends. You're going to look like a superstar. nickandroy.com. Go to the Nick and Roy store.
nickandroy.com.
Wall Street, Bay Street, NASDAQ, Hensing, loonies, toonies, dollars, and yens. This is On the Money with Nick and Roy.
So the Federal Reserve, which I have my reservations about.
Yes. Yeah, I have reservations
The
for
Federal
6.
Reserve.
I have my reservations.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
6.
Reservations for 6 at a table inside the vault, please.
Yes.
Okay, the Federal Reserve is missing 2/3 of all the $100 bills that were ever printed.
Okay, I'll give them back.
Yeah, but 2/3.
Oh,
That's massive.
yeah.
What they believe is that these $100 bills are leaving the country, going overseas, dealings and trade deals and business deals and vacationers. And the overseas people, they're holding the American money because they know it's always worth more than theirs.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Well, how about this idea? And we were joking around about the Federal Reserve and making reservations. Is there a restaurant called like the Federal Reserve Restaurant, and then you make reservations in the vault?
Ooh, wouldn't
Right?
that be good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I like that.
The restaurant's like decorated in like currencies from all around the world, or maybe U.S. dollars, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, and when you get the bill, it looks like money.
Right.
The bill.
Yeah.
The bill.
The bill looks like money. There you go. You can dine at the Federal Reserve Restaurant, and you can dine in the vault. Just ask for Nick and Roy. Okay.
I like that. And they only have reserve wines.
Right. Everything's reserved.
Yeah.
Reservations only.
Yeah.
You can have preserves. You have preserves on your bread if you want. Yeah, we can go really crazy on this one. Or not. I'm up here in Toronto, Canada. Roy's in Southwest Florida. And up here in Canada, we have what we call the Big Maple Leaf. It's the name of the Canadian coin that's made of 100 kilograms of pure gold. Face value, 1 million Canadian dollars. The Royal Canadian Mint produced a limited amount of these in 2007 because I think they were too heavy. But 100 kilograms of pure gold worth $1 million.
Wow. This is my tease, this next one coming
Good,
up.
because I have my tease next. So good. We're gonna do back-to-back commercial-free teases.
Yeah, we like teasing people.
Right.
You know, I have a feather that no. Okay. But anyway, that's another story.
It is.
The Coinage Act of 1972 had something very strange placed into it. It changed the offense of a mint employee counterfeiting money to the penalty of death.
Really?
No longer did it say like 30 years in prison. No. If you work for the mint and you are caught counterfeiting money, you are dead, my friend.
Yeah, so you're telling me that the people who work at the Federal Reserve, is that it? Or the Mint?
Yeah.
Or the Federal
Yeah.
Reserve?
The people that an employee of the Mint.
The Mint.
No,
okay.
the Mint.
Okay.
They will die. They are going to receive a death sentence if they counterfeit money.
Okay. If you want to find out what we look like, go to nickandroy.com, and we warn you, viewer discretion is advised. Old and wrinkly, some vending machines, and this happened to us. How annoying is it? You go to a vending machine, you're hungry or you're thirsty, right? And I'm like, okay. And you put a bill into the little thing, right? And it rejects it, right? Mm-hmm. And like, why?
That's right.
Well, some vending machines reject wrinkled bills because their bill validators inside cannot accurately scan the currency's security features when the paper is crumpled. So if the bill isn't perfectly flat, the machine may misread or fail to detect specific anti-counterfeiting marks, speaking of counterfeits, causing it to be rejected as potentially fake. So it may be a real legitimate bill, but because it's slightly wrinkled, the machine's inside says, I don't trust it enough.
Yep. There's a lot of things that don't enter properly if they're slightly wrinkled.
And they're rejected. And then they're rejected.
And they get rejected.
Yeah, right.
Yes, they do. Not that I know that, Nick.
No, not at all. High school was such a great time, wasn't it?
Ever since Pfizer, things have been great.
Or Fox Sleever.
Fox Sleever.
Let me pause for a second here. So you can also go to nickandroy.com, go to the bottom of the page. You can subscribe to our newsletter. And I bring that up because in the month of October's issue of the newsletter, we talked about a listener who wanted to know more about Fox Sleever. It was a fake pharmaceutical. And so that's why we often bring up for Fox Sleever. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I got a good one with money.
Okay.
How long does the U.S. currency last? And I've had a person ask me this week. That's why I looked it up. And it lasts, get ready, a dollar bill lasts about 18 months. A $5 bill, 2 years. A $10 bill, 3 years. A $20 bill can last up to 4 years. Now we get into the big ones. A 50, 9 years. And a $100 bill, 9 years. The same as a 50. Coins can last up to 30 years.
Okay. That makes sense, but I wonder, isn't all the currency made from the same material?
It's the amount of exchanging. The dollar exchanges hands a lot more.
There you go. So the material is the same, but because you use those denominations more frequently. I got you.
It's like I'll use this analogy, Nick.
Sure.
A woman.
Yeah.
You have a regular woman,
right,
and you have a prostitute.
Right.
One is used more than the other.
Right. And then you have that's when they become old and wrinkly.
Oh no!
Back to that.
You went there.
I did, and I took an Uber. Actually, I took a Tesla, and it started to fart. Okay. How about this? How about the phrase "cash cow"? Cash cow.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Okay. Yeah. So it gained prominence from Peter Drucker in the 1960s. And was further popularized in the Boston Consulting Group, BCG, in case you're taking notes, in the early 1970s. Mm-hmm. So it included their growth share matrix to describe the business, high market, blah, blah. The term is a metaphor for a dairy cow that produces a steady, reliable income with minimal maintenance, and the concept is used to identify and leverage profitability, long-term assets, and the company's portfolio, the cash cow.
This I like too, Nick. This is a cool one.
Okay.
There are 60 communities in the United States that use their own money. Now, I will not go through all 60, but I will mention like 3.
Okay.
One is called Blue Money, and Blue Money can be exchanged in Vermont and New Hampshire. They print their own, what they call Blue Money. Then there is BNI Money, BN as in Nancy, I as in Indigo, BNI money. Okay. That can be used in Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, and New Jersey. But the most exchanged printed money that's non-United States issued, the most exchanged and the most money that transfers hands is Disney money.
Really?
Walt Disney World produces their own Disney dollars, and they're printed and spent and they are money. They are tangible money.
Yeah.
And it's the number one non-US based money that exchanges hands in the United States. Cool, right? Useless.
No goofing around, really. Put your money where your mouth. So I know these are sort of like borderline expressions, but we've already retired the topic of expressions. It's not definitively known, but it's generally believed to stem from gambling, betting, or boxing context. Early American usage appearing around the 1930s and 40s, the phrase challenges someone to back up their confident words or boasts with financial commitment or concrete actions, rather than just talking. So everyone can talk a good game. Yeah, I'm going to win the game. I'm going to bet this and that, bet that. Okay, put some money on it. Put your money where your mouth is, where the expression came from.
Yeah, back it up.
Back it up. Beep,
Yep.
beep, beep.
Stop playing games.
Okay.
Step right up here. Step right up,
Listen
folks.
up.
Don't be shy. Move it.
Oh.
Totally useless information with Nick and Roy present Games People Play.
So this fact I go, hey, Needle Mouse. Sonic the Hedgehog's original prototype name was never Mr. Needle Mouse, but rather Mr. Hedgehog. So because originally the Mr. Needle Mouse resulted from a misinterpretation of the Japanese word for hedgehog, which literally translates to needle and mouse. So they got that all mixed up, but they said, you know what? Hedgehog is probably the better way to name the animal in the games.
Yeah, that's that happens a lot, the translation. Musical chairs.
Yes. Oh.
I went a little differently with games this time.
Okay.
I went with the old games,
Yeah,
like
classics.
children's game.
Classics,
Yeah, classic
yeah.
children's games.
Old
yeah.
and wrinkly.
Because I said, where did they come from? So I was originally trying to do board games, but I said, nah. And I saw something and it caught my attention.
Okay.
So musical chairs.
Right.
Dates back to the 14th century. It started in India. It was called the Kambara Gadani.
Okay.
They invented the game, pretty similar to what the game is today. The Jewish tradition, it's called I'm Going to Jerusalem.
Okay.
Where they play a song that sings, I'm going to Jerusalem. And they say, as they're going around the chairs, I'm going to Jerusalem. When it stops, they have to sit down.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
I've collected for this topic of games here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. And I wanted to come up with some failed board games because we have some really successful ones like Scrabble, Monopoly, and the like, right? You know, those are really... Mousetrap was one we played as a kid. Don't Wake Daddy is the name of this game. Don't Wake Daddy, the players move their kid pieces around a board towards the refrigerator, trying to avoid the sleeping daddy figure from pressing the alarm button a specific number of times when landing on noisy spaces without a matching card.
Oh,
So the play involves spinning a spinner to move, using the cards to bypass noise spaces, and avoiding daddy waking up to the various sounds like the creaking boards and the door slamming and things like that. If that happens, if you wake him up, that sends the player back to their starting bed, and the first player to reach the refrigerator wins.
Nick, I got a great concept for a game. I don't know if I should even tell. I don't know if you should add this. Get out of jail.
Wow.
And you get cards like a saw and a key and a shovel and a fork, and you can work the bricks out, or you get an extra brick or whatever. And then as you get out, if you win the game, there's a little circular red flashing light that goes
Yeah. Okay.
Get out of jail. Break out of jail.
Breakout. Call it breakout.
Yeah, breakout.
Breakout. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. We played that game in high school. Oh, we did do that. We played that game in high school, breakout, and then we needed penicillin for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Or fork sleeve.
That was called I Need a Shot.
Yes.
Dodgeball, Nick. Dodgeball. It started in a very strange way in Africa.
Okay.
The participants, 5 on a side, would have large rocks or small little boulders,
Right.
which they would throw at each other and try to kill each other.
Like really kill each other?
Dodgeball was eventually tamed down because they were running out of players.
We don't have enough for a quorum, so we have to cancel the game.
No, I mean, it was kind of like almost like a Roman, type of gladiator game for the Africans. It was their form of gladiator game. But anyway, it ends up that somebody picks up a ball and hits somebody with it. And of course, you know how many kids are traumatized by dodgeball that went to grammar school and stuff and were traumatized by dodgeball. But in Africa, it started dodgeball as a sport of death.
Wow. How about this? Bigfoot board game. Players hunted Bigfoot across the map in this board game. But the reason why it failed because it was slow, it was confusing, and lacked any real payoff. Bigfoot remained elusive because they never really did find the game. They never planned an ending to that game, and so the Bigfoot became elusive, and then eventually so did the fun. So they got rid of the Bigfoot board game.
At the end of the game, you take the Bigfoot and give yourself a kick in the you-know-what.
Yes, for buying it. That game, by the way, was from 1977. It's no longer in production.
Bigfoot, the game.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep, the old Sasquatch. Hopscotch.
Yes.
Another classic game, right? Hopscotch. Yeah. How did it start out?
At a bar.
Well, when the Romans took over England.
It wasn't in a bar? Hopscotch?
Well, it was called Britain at the time, but the Romans took over Britain.
Okay.
And they had their troops there. Hopscotch was created as a military training exercise or activity.
Oh.
And it was almost the same type of form, but a little different. It is believed that in 1870, there were rules put to it, and it was changed to a game and named Hopscotch for the Scottish soldiers that would do it.
There you go. It was almost like an obstacle course, I guess, right?
And it's a tough game to do in a kilt, I'll tell you that.
Yes. We tried it once. We got killed doing it.
Yeah.
I
call it ball buster.
Right. No wonder. Here's another failed board game here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We're playing games here. The Office board game. Now, this was based on the TV show. Now, you love The Office, right? You just love The Office.
I thought it was a very great show, yeah.
And I think there's a follow-up to it now called The Paper or something?
Yeah, they got a new one,
called The
The
Paper.
same producers, and why not? Why not?
Roy, I don't know if anyone knows this in the audience, but Roy and I are starring in a sitcom called Paper Cuts. So, The Office board game tried to capture the...
We're starring in our own sitcom called Toilet Paper.
Right. Should I tell the audience that was our idea of toilet paper? Let me do my fact, and then we'll tell you about our brilliant idea that we did not do anything about, and boy, we are kicking ourselves in the Bigfoot. All right, the Office board game tried to capture the sitcom's charm, but the gameplay for this game was so dry, it was just as dry as Toby's personality from the show. So yeah, it just didn't go anywhere. Now, the toilet paper.
That was the Office game.
That was
no. Hold on.
Yes.
Get ready. Now I have one more fact, and then you can tell
about the toilet
people
paper. Okay, great.
Yeah. Again, I saved my best for last.
Right on.
Anka, gra, anka.
Bingo.
Anka, gra, anka.
Okay.
It's Scandinavian, Nick. Oh.
Yeah.
Like Scandinavian women.
Yes.
Anka, gra, anka is duck,
goose,
gray, duck.
Oh.
Yes, duck, gray, duck.
Okay.
Instead of saying duck, goose, they said white duck, duck, gray duck, which are not as common as white or the multicolored, whatever.
Yeah.
So they said duck, gray duck. Okay. So it was then changed to the game that we know and Americanized in England called duck, goose. And so that's how it started in Scandinavia. Anka, gray, anka.
course, Roy's
I dated a girl named Anka once.
Yes, you did. And you know what? Roy was from that country of Scandinavia. Things were scantily clad. So the game was duck, duck, goose, because you know where Roy was. So those of you who started our journey 6 years ago and 300 plus episodes ago, thank you for sticking with us. And those of you who joined us since then, welcome. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Roy and I have been best friends since the late 1970s. We met in high school. We worked together in Roy's dad's restaurant. And so we were kind of brainstorming about whatever. And actually, we started doing this sort of useless information back and forth in that time, maybe the early 80s, way before the internet. And I would go to library books and get like all kinds of trivia books to try to stump Roy with facts. And they happen to be useless facts as we know them today. So that's really where the idea kind of came from, and we revisited it 6 years ago. But we thought of a little publication because, you know, people always go to, when they go to the bathroom or washroom here in Canada, we bring something to read with us. And so we said, why don't we come up with a concept of a single sheet of paper where you don't need a pen or anything, and you have like brain games, like brain teasers and articles and things like this, so you can read, and we would sell them in restaurants, and like, I think we said 25 cents each or something. And
the toilet paper.
The toilet paper. And so we didn't do anything with it. And then, I don't know, a few years later, everyone on New York radio, because that's where we grew up, everyone was making fun of these new books. Uncle John's book of something, I forget the name of them. They were basically useless information. They basically had our idea, except they put it in a book form.
And nobody's ever seen Uncle John since.
Ever since, no. But now here we are 6 years later. So anyway, our original concept was the toilet paper. Now, of course, you know, you have everything on your device, but maybe we should come up with a digital version of it and call the toilet paper where you can view it in the toilet kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah. Listen, you know, we came up with a whole bunch of ideas, Nick and I, like a coffee thing.
Yeah.
And we actually tried to, that was in another episode. So if you're a listener, you know that Nick and I were quite the inventors as well.
Yes. We were.
Came up with a lot of useless ideas.
Right, which is why we're doing Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. And we invite you to go to our website to do many things, including go to the Nick and Roy store.
Nick and Roy will continue with Totally Useless Information.
It's time to gear up for fall with cool fashions, cooler weather, and a very cool Kensington market. Hello, this is Cool Nick and Cool Roy for Tom's Place.
I like the way you did that.
That's right. Where the cool guys in Toronto shop.
So check out the latest fall fashions that have just arrived. And hey, it's Tom's Place. So even the new arrivals are on sale. Fall colors, new patterns, fresh designs. So check out the fabulous collection of designer suits, regularly $650. For our listeners of the radio show and the podcast, $375. You heard it right there, slashed to $375.
Wow. Pick out a couple of sports jackets while you're at it. Dress up for the office or down for the weekend, or a wool top coat for 50% off on our first floor.
Play it cool at Tom's Place like we do at Tom's Place, 190 Baldwin Street in Kensington Market. Visit Tom's at toms-place.com. That's TOMS-place.com.
Tom's Place. They'll suit you.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
Okay, so I don't know if it was the Anka from Scandinavia that got me looking.
Yes.
And I'm going through the mailbag and I see Enya.
Oh.
Enya from Harstad, Norway.
Okay.
And that one caught my attention because I was like, yeah, Scandinavian Anya. She says, my town is on the largest island of Norway. I didn't even know Norway had islands.
No.
But they do. And she said, see, your listeners learned some more useless information. So she must have thought through some. Nobody knows that Norway has islands. I love that.
Yeah.
She says, we love your show. I work at a restaurant and we listen in the kitchen. Thanks so much. Please, if you can, say hi to Klaus, Sheila, Bjorn, and Ingrid, the whole crew. So, ready? Enya, Klaus, Sheila, Bjorn, Ingrid. Hello. No, we thank you guys for listening and telling people in Norway to listen to us.
My email comes from Liz from Richmond Hill, Ontario. She says, "Dear Nick and Roy, we love your show." Well, there's more to that. So you guys are funny together.
I was going to say, wow, great.
Yeah, okay. What else you got? Well, she says you guys are
love you too.
Yes. LOL. You guys are funny together.
And I'm not just saying that.
Yes, you are. You guys are funny together. I can only imagine you guys at a party. Well, us too. Here's my question. So I would like to know if the word CAPTCHA is an acronym for something. Now, we've gone on websites and either for login or you're buying something, it's called CAPTCHA, CAPTCHA. And she says, I get that on almost all websites when logging in or buying something. Thanks for the smiles. So CAPTCHA, I think you've seen it, right? They want to prove that you're human, right? Sometimes it'll say, I'm not a robot.
Yes.
But CAPTCHA is the name of the tool that's used. And it is an acronym, Liz. CAPTCHA is completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. CAPTCHA, completely automatic public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. We talked about cars, we talked about money, we talked about games. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
During this segment of news from around the world, sometimes we've done segments like stupid criminals, okay? I think this guy falls under the category. A man suspected of committing multiple robberies in Colorado, not Florida, so you can relax.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God there's other people crazy in the world.
That's right.
They're not just riding Barbie cars in Canada.
No, they're not. That was a lot of fun, by the way.
That was a good one, yeah.
It was. That was last week's show. A man suspected of committing multiple robberies in Colorado was caught by TV news crews. They were actually, so here's what was going on. So the TV film crew, the news crew, were filming a segment about him. That there was a robber in the area committing all these robberies, right? So some criminals who think they've gotten away with a crime will at times show off, like brag. They want to mock police and federal agents who've been on their tail, for a while. So they try to play more low-key, hiding so that they don't get, caught and arouse any kind of suspicion. Nope. Hey, this guy's from Idaho Springs, Colorado. He managed.
Now, what was he robbing, Nick?
It didn't say what, but there were multiple robberies. So he was a serial robber, right?
Well, people have to eat too, Nick, and I like my bran in the morning, so a serial robber is okay by me.
Okay, well, his name was Richard, speaking of food, Richard Applequist. Applequist.
Oh, the old Applequist.
Yes, that's right. Not Applecrisp.
Ploy.
It's not an apple crisp with a speech impediment. It's Applequist. Walked behind the TV crews as they've been filming. Sometimes you see on the news, like you're watching the news and there's a reporter doing a stand-up report, and there's some yahoos in the background doing the peace sign and making funny faces at the camera, this kind of thing.
Me.
Well, that's you, right?
Yeah.
But at least you're not, at least as far as we know, you're not a multiple robber. So
I moon them.
That's right. And they're like, that's funny. It's in the middle of the afternoon, yet we see a moon. Anyway, so he walked behind the TV news crews, and they've been filming the segments about these apparent robberies. One of the anchors at CBS, Justin Adams, did a double take after seeing Applequist walk across the street behind them. So he had his hood
They
up.
knew it was him because he had vanilla ice cream on his head. Apple crisp.
Oh. So in that case, his name is Richard Applequist a la mode. He was
a Dick Applequist.
Right. Richard.
Nick, go on with your story. The guy's walking in the background. The news reporter's talking about the crimes.
Yeah, exactly. So he had his hoodie up, right? So the CBS crew, one of the people in the CBS crew, quickly called 911 to alert the police that Applequist was in the area. Within 10 minutes, he was arrested by the authorities and taken into custody for questioning. So, according to the police, deputies in Idaho Springs Police quickly responded to the area and were able to locate and arrest Applequist. I love how they speak like that, right?
Yeah.
The
They
man,
quickly responded to the area with a peach cobbler.
they were hungry. And
Takes that, Apple Crisp.
So, even though there was an extensive search that was launched to find the suspect after several robberies.
They got to the core. They got to the core of it.
A spokesperson for Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office, a lot of alliteration, Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office, told CBS News it was an amazing moment because suspects are typically never around when the media are. Well, not this idiot. Adams was shocked spotting Applequist. I was kind of more in a sense of disbelief than, wait a minute, this is the guy I'm literally just talking about when he was describing that on live TV, according
He's
to...
a real sharp reporter, isn't he?
Oh, he's right on
If you see a man 5'7" with a big, large birthmark, and the guy's standing right behind him,
Yeah, like this one, like this guy here, right? Anyway.
You think Apple Crisp goes home and says to his wife, "I'm home, Honey Crisp"?
Eat Honey Nut Cheerios.
What do you think he goes to a gala?
Yeah.
Gala.
Gala.
Gala apple. These are all names. They're all names of apples, Nick. I'll cue you in.
No, that's fine. His mother-in-law,
You
Mrs.
tell Nick doesn't eat anything nutritious.
Listen, his wife's maiden name was McIntosh.
Yeah, Macintosh.
McIntosh, there you
That's
go.
right. And he dated a girl. She was a stripper. Her name was Candy Apple. Oh, so they arrest this guy, right? They get him.
They get him, and now they're
They
questioning-
apprehend him, right?
They apprehended him. They apprehended the perp, and they're questioning him right now as we speak.
Right now, they're like, Deputy Cinnamon, would you like to question the apple?
Cinnamon. Wow. That's all the herbs and spices we have for this show,
Yeah.
this edition of the show on Totally Useless Information with Nick and
Yeah,
Roy.
that story's getting a little crusty. It's getting a little crusty, Nick.
Right.
Like
You
an
know
apple
what?
pie.
It is. I'll tell you this much. Useless information once a week will keep the doctor away. Thanks for listening. We'll appreciate you joining us next time as we will scour the internet far and wide to find more totally useless information just for you.
Yes, until then, like in Norway, tell all your friends that this show is different. We are different than any other podcast that you could listen to. It's fun. We say listen, laugh, and learn.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is recorded and produced in Canada. For more totally useless information, visit nickandroy.com. That's nickandroy.com. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.